Welcome to the Writing in Your Jammies podcast. I'm your host, Jeannie Hall, and I'm a creative inspiration coach who helps writers reignite their creative sparks. This podcast is here to help you knock down any barriers that stand between you and your dreams. You can do it. Join me. Hello, and welcome to the Writing in Your Jammies podcast. This is podcast 35, Anxious Thoughts. So maybe you've experienced this too. Last night, I woke up with my mind spinning with anxious thoughts about the previous day. And what happened is I woke up in the middle of the night and just couldn't get back to sleep, and my mind was just spinning on something that happened the previous day at work. And maybe this has happened to you too, where you wake up either in the middle of the night or maybe just before your alarm goes off in the morning, which is even more irritating, and your heart is pounding and your mind is racing. And maybe like me, your mind is focused on recent events from the day before. Or maybe your mind is racing with the same type of thoughts every single time you wake up, whether it's in the middle of the night or right after you wake up in the morning. So like if you're battling your weight, for example, maybe you're beating yourself up for something you ate before you went to bed. Or maybe you wake up obsessed with a certain food you want to eat, but are trying not to. Maybe your anxious thoughts aren't about the past at all, recent or otherwise. Maybe they're about the future. Are you worrying about losing a job? Or about maybe a big payment that's coming due that you're not sure how you're going to pay? Maybe you have a large medical bill. Or maybe you just had to replace something expensive on your car. Maybe your fridge just died. Or maybe these worrisome thoughts are something you always battle, even if those thoughts aren't that pressing or important. Do you wake up in the middle of the night rehashing your workday? Do you scrutinize every little thing your coworkers or your boss said to you, no matter how minor or inconsequential? Does your mind fixate on your finances, even when you're holding your own in that department? Do you think about vague possibilities like, let's say, a tree falling on your house, even though there's no storm or high winds in the forecast? Even though you really have no reason for that worry, does it still worry you? Does it still wake you up in the middle of the night? Do you worry about what your significant other is doing all the time, even when deep down you know they're just at work? Having anxiety or anxious thoughts is something many of us deal with. But there is a difference between being concerned about a situation demanding your immediate attention, like your house being foreclosed on this Friday, let's say, or what life coach Brooke Castillo calls a continuous thought loop. If you always or frequently wake up with your mind spinning at night, no matter what's going on in your life, this may simply be a pattern your brain is creating. Because the brain is one of those things that is this beautiful machine, and what it does to be efficient. So whatever it is that you've been doing, that's why habits are sometimes really hard to break, because whatever it is that you've been doing, your brain has gotten you really good at it, no matter what that is, even if it's overeating, even if it's smoking, even if it's over drinking, even if it's waking up in the middle of the night worrying about stupid stuff. Your brain wants to be efficient at what it does. So if you've been doing something for a long time, whether you're aware of it or not, especially if you're not aware of it, because when it becomes an unconscious thing, then it's even more likely to stay present in your life. That's why it's so important for us to stop and be aware of what our thoughts are, especially when we're struggling with something, because we need to take a look at what those thoughts and feelings are and what they mean. But the good news is, if you do figure out that what your problem is just that your brain is circulating on a pattern, the good news is we can break that pattern. And one great start to breaking the pattern is to just be aware of it in the first place. When you get off of autopilot and you start to become aware of everything in your life, your surroundings, your thoughts, your feelings, then suddenly your body, then that alone starts to reprogram your brain to see this, whatever this pattern is, as being unnecessary or unhelpful. And that's how you start to break it. So the next time you wake up before you're ready and you have wild, anxious thoughts just careening through your head, you can say to yourself, "All right, brain, I know what you're doing." Brooke Castillo does this all the time because she has a lot of issues with anxiety herself. And she talks herself through it by joking around with her brain. So, "Yeah, I see what you're up to there. Yeah, yeah, I see what you're doing. I'm not going to let you, but yeah, no, that's what you're trying to do." Okay? She jokes around because that's her personality. So you might do the same thing, depending on your own personality and what works for you. If you can use a humorous tone to talk to yourself and your brain go, "Yeah, I got it. I see what you're up to. All right, knock it off," right? You can do it that way. Or it might work better for you to kind of chastise your brain. Say, all right, stop. No, for real, this isn't funny. I see what you're doing and I'm stopping you now. Or a knowing tone, like from a higher level of wisdom, whatever works best for you. So what you need to do is just to either know and believe this, or even say it out loud. My brain is doing this, not because something horrible is wrong, but because it's just used to doing it. My brain has gotten comfortable with waking me up with anxiety, but I'm breaking that pattern right now. And then the next step is to fill your mind with happy or peaceful thoughts. Whatever works best for you. I would try both. So here's some examples for you. You can just imagine a loved one's smile. You can picture a calm lake, ocean, or other body of water. You can picture or hear a soft breeze blowing through tall grass or through trees. Not a roaring storm, but a soft breeze. You can hear white noise like the whir of a fan or a heater. You could listen to soft music. You could hear or imagine you're hearing the laughter of children, especially if those are children that you love. You could also listen to the sound of your own heartbeat. You could listen to the sound of your body slowly breathing in and out softly. Or you could listen to the sound of someone reading to you quietly. That can be very soothing to people too. So that's just a few examples. It can be anything, any thought that fills you with happiness or peace, whatever that might be. But once your brain has been refocused, you should be able to fall back asleep. Okay, but what if your anxious thoughts are real, like immediate concerns, like your house being foreclosed on, like I mentioned before, like Friday or something? Here's the thing. Even if you really do have something pressing going on in your life right now, you still need your rest. And it's hard to focus and concentrate when you've got something big looming on the horizon like that. But this is a few things you can do to help even in that situation. My first piece of advice is to meditate, either through silence if you're a meditator and you're used to sitting in quiet contemplation. That's totally cool. Or you can use a guided meditation. My coach Betsy Pake recently did a guided meditation at the end of one of her recent podcasts, and so she's inspired me to do the same today. So today, at the end of this podcast, I'm going to add on a brief guided meditation. So if you think that will be helpful to you, I've done a couple on a couple of other podcasts before. I'm just going to tack one on basically to the end of this podcast for you. It's just going to be a short one, and it'll be on after my outro. So if you don't want to listen to it, then that's totally fine. But if you want to listen to it, just the guided meditation itself, you can wait until my outro finishes, and then the guided meditation will begin. Another thing you can do is you can use guided meditations from people who are experts at these. One of the people that I like to listen to is the phenomenal Rikka Zimmerman. She has got some beautiful guided meditations out there. Another person who has a whole bunch, and he's got a whole YouTube channel full of them, is Stephenson. He has so many. He does live guided meditations as well. So if any of those sound good to you, I will put a link in the show notes. Try them out. Check those people out. They're really amazing people. Another great tool is to, if you wake up with anxiety and you have something pressing and immediate, use some positive affirmations and say those out loud or to yourself to calm yourself again. Another great thing is to remind yourself of who you really are, which is that you are a beautiful and powerful spiritual being. And remind yourself that you are in control of your brain, not the other way around. Your brain doesn't get to control you. So if it's trying, put a stop to it. You're the one in charge. You're the one in control of your brain, not your brain in control of you. It's all a choice. So all you have to do is be aware of it and then make that change. Say at least 10 positive things to yourself during your affirmation time. So here are a few examples. You can do, of course, whatever comes to you, whatever comes naturally. Or you can use these or somebody else's. There's tons and tons of affirmations. If you just Google it, you'll find tons of affirmations out there, or look on Pinterest, all sorts of great examples. But here's a few of mine. I am strong. I am capable of releasing my worry. I can figure this situation out. Everything is going to be okay. I know God, or the universe, or source, or higher power, or whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in, has my back. This too shall pass. I am a badass, and I can handle anything. I allow inspiration on how to solve this problem to come to me. I am at peace. And I believe better things are coming. So next, you're going to visualize yourself happy or peaceful with no problems whatsoever. Put yourself in the happiest or most peaceful place you can mentally, and just visualize yourself there. Visualize every aspect of it. And remember that you are a spiritual being who is borrowing this earthly human body, because in truth you are eternal and endless. And the wisdom on how to make your difficult situation better isn't an external thing. You don't have to go search it down and track it down and find it, because the wisdom on the solution to whatever problem you're having is already within you. You just need to access it by being quiet enough with yourself to let that come through. And yes, I realize maybe you've tried this before. You're like, Jeannie, I don't hear anything. Nothing's coming to me. I get it. It takes practice. It does. But you will get to where you can do this if you keep trying. Just make sure you're quiet and willing to listen to whatever comes to you. And if it comes to you in your own voice and it feels good in your body at the same time, that's probably your own inspiration, your higher self speaking to you. So that's a great opportunity to listen for that solution. Because all of us, basically, you, me, everybody, we all carry a connection to the divine at all times. We're never alone, not ever. So let that connection be open, listen to it, and try to go to sleep. Then see if you see a solution, or at least a way to make things better for you. Pay attention to what sticks out to you, because that may be your inspiration speaking. Another visualization you can do is to picture yourself floating above your body, or even floating above this world, away from and above any problems you may be experiencing in this life right now. And once you're up there, feel the love of God and the universe surrounding you, embracing you. See a perfect smiling vision of yourself, your spiritual self, coming to you. And let that being hug you and fill you with unconditional love. Really, really feel it. Anytime that anxiety returns later on, because it probably will, picture that spiritual version of yourself smiling at you and loving you. It can be very, very powerful to do that. So believe you can overcome any obstacle in your path, because you can. You totally can. You are so much more than mere flesh and bone. Know that. Know that to your very core. Know that you are love and light and infinite possibility. And know that I'm sending my love and peaceful thoughts to you right now. So if you'd like to listen to my guided meditation, just keep on listening past my outro and make sure you can give your full awareness to it, because it will be a guided meditation where I'm going to ask you to, close your eyes and concentrate, because it's kind of for trying to get back to sleep. So you're probably going to be lying down for this and having your eyes closed. So please don't do the guided meditation if you're doing something where safety needs to be involved, like operating heavy machinery. That's my little disclaimer there. All right. So everybody have a great day, week, month, and year. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for listening to the Writing in Your Jammies podcast. I appreciate every download and every person who has subscribed. I release new episodes every Wednesday and Saturday, so if you enjoy this content, please consider leaving a review. The more reviews fledgling shows like mine receive, the more visible it becomes on the various podcast stations. Each review helps, so if you enjoy what I've been sharing, please help others find this show by leaving a brief review. Thanks again for listening. Close your eyes and through your nose, take a deep, calming breath. Lay back and relax each part of your body in turn. Your toes and feet, your ankles and legs, your torso and shoulders, your arms and hands, your neck and head. As you breathe in and out again, be aware of any thoughts circulating through your mind. Do not react to these thoughts. Simply observe them from a distance. Know these thoughts are not you. Know these thoughts cannot hurt or control you. You are above the earth, safe and warm and at absolute peace. You glance down at our shimmering world, the blue and white, green and brown, and feel nothing but love and serenity. You relax deeper into your comfortable bed. Your body is completely relaxed now, your mind placid and at ease. You take one more long inhale and exhale, and let yourself slip into beautiful oblivion.